Signal lost.
Cosmic Mermaid and Starman, you are wrong. What is going on, guys? I'm watching. You know, it's been entertaining sometimes. I watch, and people are trying to predict how late that I'm going to be. So, welcome to Happy Hour Live. I am so glad to have you guys here. Yeah, Cosmic Mermaid and Starman, you got it wrong. I saw that. I saw that. HC Carefree Highway. Oh, wait a minute. Before we go too far, let's go see. Guys, I know who got first in the house, and he didn't get any preferential treatment. He didn't know when I was posting this, but there it is. Cowboy Biker Adventures Don. He is here. I just saw him yesterday, had dinner with him, a great steak, and hung out with him. He is actually here. This is the Thousand Trails Sun River. Let's see. There we go. Can we get there's a lot of trees. It's a lot of trees. It's just, yeah, it's a lot of trees. X Fired Up is in the house. Glad to have you here, W.S. Griffey. Hello. Glad to have you here. Roll on down the way here. X Fired Up, RV Living Life, Mr. Gary. If you watch the video today, I gave him credit. I included it in the video. I know Gary was laughing when I went to cut that wire with the Sawzall. Gary, stop laughing. Stop. Miss Pearl is in the house. Glad to have you here. WCRV Adventures. Scroll on down here. Cosmic Mermaid and Starman, who got it wrong. 4 minutes. Well, you sometimes you never know. Let's roll on down here. Mr. Richard M is in the house. Glad to have you here. X Fired Up. Let's see if we can get Bead Trapper is in the house. Glad to have you here. You guys have been talking. I have to scroll through here. HC Carefree Highway. Let's roll on down. Let's roll on down here. Oh my gosh, you guys. That's Jennifer Pignon. Hopefully I'm getting that right. And Jenny Craig. Yep, absolutely. I hope I'm not butchering your last name. So I hope that I'm not butchering your last name, but glad to have you here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I met with Dawn yesterday. I was driving into Thousand Trails. I moved from my boondocking location. Guys, I was loving it there. And that is I took that picture that was the thumbnail tonight right from my camp, and just absolutely beautiful. And I didn't want to leave. I'll be perfectly honest. I didn't want to leave. It's peaceful, it's quiet. There generally was only one person there other than myself overnight. During the day, people tend to gravitate to the area to put in for the river and float the river. So it got a little busy during the day. Richard Meek is in the house. Glad to have you here. I have come to love boondocking, and this is beautiful. I mean, look at what we've got here. It's pretty here. This is the Thousand Trails Sun River. There's no sewer here, so you do get electric and you do get water. But if you need to dump anytime during your stay here, you do have to either tote it out or drive your rig over to a dump station and dump. And that's let's see. And to finish my thought on that, It works okay for probably, depending on how long that you can kind of survive on your tanks. I generally have no problem going 2 weeks, but at a time like this where I come from boondocking to a Thousand Trails Park, I really rely on being able to do laundry and things like that. And I do have onboard washer, and you can't really do that, oh, Market Share is in the house. Glad to have you here. Hi from the Big Island of Hawaii. Yes. Wow. I've only been to the Big Island and love it there. Love it. That guys, if you're going to Hawaii, this is what I've been told. Now, Market Share could tell me if I've got it right or not. The rest of the Hawaiians go to the Big Island to get away from all the crowds and the tourists and the people. So I don't know. I can tell you, I absolutely love it there. Absolutely love it there. So, but it's the only place that I've gone to in the Hawaiian chain. So glad to have you here. No, RV living life, Gary. No, I think Don will tell you. Don has been doing okay with his Starlink. So it must have been just where you were at. Don apparently has the eye for it as he's driving in and figuring out where to park and how to set up. But he is close to the dump station, and he's close, and he's got his Starlink hooked up. So yeah, it is about 10 gallons a load. Yeah, without sewer, we go through about 10 gallons a load, and it adds up fast. If if you're like me, I have a 60-gallon gray water tank, and that fills up pretty fast, depending on how how many loads that you're going to do or need to do, and how long that you're going to stay there. So definitely a limiting factor. I wish there was a way to fix that, but you go to a Thousand Trails or you go to an RV park and you hope to fix it, and you come to one like this. And yeah, I'm still doing my laundry, guys, but I'm being careful. I'm being cautious. I don't want to fill up my tank because I know that I'm going to be here for about another 9 days. So let's see. Real quick, let me throw the banner up there, guys. We're going to talk about it a little bit tonight, and that is fantasy football. If you have never tried fantasy football, we did it last year and absolutely had a blast doing it. I give updates every week on the live, so let everybody know how the teams are doing. And those teams are our very own subscribers right here from the channel. So we had a blast with it last year. Looking forward to another good year of doing that. And if you want to do the fantasy football thing with us this year, send me an email right down there at the bottom of the screen. It's scrolling, ourendeavor4u@gmail.com. Let me just pour myself another adult beverage. And would love to have you guys on. If we, I don't know how many people we've got and how many people are going to want to do it this year. We had a lot of new people last year that had never done it before, and I think you guys had fun. If I, correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't need to know football. Whenever I bring it up in conversation with somebody and they say, "Oh, I don't really know football." You don't need to know football. Believe it or not, fantasy football is very simple, very easy, and it can get a little addictive to to do. And we had a blast with it. So if you missed out last year, Gary, see that email right down there. I think I sent Miss Carol a link. We had problems last year trying to get Gary signed up, and it was actually, I don't know, it was the goofy what did we just lost our light. The light is being brought to you by. How did we do that? I don't know. Let's see if we can turn that back on. There we go. Technical difficulties here. New light, guys. That is, I discovered a new light hanging out with Bob. You discover all kinds of things when you hang out with Bob. And Bob, I'm telling you, I love this light, and I saw it when we were there. And you know what? I want to try that light and see it. So what do you think? This is the new light, and yeah, I've actually got. You can actually see me this time. So hope you guys like it. I fell in love with the light. So Bob, I got it. It's here. It's running. And loving it. So thank you for that. I lost my train of thought. I don't even know what we were talking about. Canadian emails are not recognized. Gary, everybody in the world has a Gmail account. Even Miss Carol has a Gmail account. Let her join. All right. And no, she gets her own team. You don't get to micromanage her behind the scenes. No, look at that. You know what? If you know Bob, if you know his channel, you know his green screen. And I am still waiting for green screen lessons. That will be, and I will never have to worry about a location again. I can just have whatever I want. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Last year we tried to get Gary signed up, and unfortunately, Mr. Gary, I am sorry. We started the season without you, and I felt bad for the rest of the season. I felt I didn't feel that bad, but it's Gary. So, Gary, you need a Gmail account. All right. No more of these Canadian emails. If you need to just go to Gmail. Miss Carol will show you how to do it. She's got one, and you can get your own. You can get your very own team. Dave, don't be an Eric. I don't want to be an Eric. I don't want to be an Eric. Whatever it is. Oh yeah. Oh, Cowboy Biker Adventures. Don, you say you want 2 teams this year. No, you only get 1 team, Don. You only get 1 team. I am asking because I know there was some creative team work going on in the background, I think. And I would like to impress upon you to take care of your own teams, even though your wife, or possibly, it's not very likely, your husband might be doing better. No, to get your own team and work on your own team, and nobody gets 2 teams. That's not really fair. Let's see. Light seems to be working well. Yeah, Nick Six is in the house. Hello, Bob. How you doing? Glad to have you here. It is. I love this light, guys. Newer. Let's see if I can get it here. I can't show you the light because it's working right now. It's got a job. It's got a, but it comes with a nice little case, and it is fantastic. I know when I saw it, I loved that light, and hopefully that will solve at least in some part a little bit of the light. It is so nice. I really like it. I don't monitor that. What, Gary, fix it. Come on, Gary. Come on. You need your own team. Carrie, you did awesome last year. Absolutely. I had a great time with fantasy football. I found rooting for a specific player more fun than rooting for a team. It actually is true. And I don't know if anybody will admit out there, if they don't know anything about football. If you don't know anything about football, you will enjoy this game. You will enjoy fantasy football because you do pick up on the individual players, and it's not really about a team. I made that mistake the very first year that I played. I'm a Broncos fan. I loved my Broncos. I ended up filling my team with Broncos players. Only problem is they don't all play every week, and I found very quickly that that wasn't a good method. So if you have a favorite team, that probably isn't going to work well for you if you're going to pick everybody, because it just, trust me, if you try it, it's not going to work well for you. But I tell you, you do not need to know anything about football. So, and if you have any inclination, if you're curious, I invite you to join. Right down there at the bottom is the email that's scrolling across there. Email me, put fantasy football in the link or in the subject field so that I can find them easily, and we'll get you signed up and get a link emailed out to you. And it's really, you do have to do a little bit of work. You have to pick out a team name, and I'm encouraging everybody that's going to play this year to, even though you played last year, pick out a new name. Get a new name. I love changing names. If you like your name, you want to stick with that, go for it. But that's kind of the fun, is seeing the different names and the different teams that come up every year. So one team per person. That's it. That's it. That I am such. All I do is create rules. I'm sorry about that. Yes, one. Gary, you see, Don has an email address that you could use, and you could just use that. So, Don, with a sweetheart, I get two teams exactly. Yeah, Bob said, you guys are talking. Miss Jennifer LaForte is in the house. Glad to have you here. Let's see here. One team. No, not one team per couple. I won't do that if both, because especially, you know how satisfying it is if you've got a football fan as the other half of your couple, that you can really finally get some revenge for all the years of putting you through football hell. And because you really don't need to know anything, you can end up winning it all, and you could be just doing an end zone dance all around him or her, and you don't even know anything about football. Does Lexi? Wow, Gary, why you push the rules? You push the rules. No, I love Miss Lexi. Don't get me wrong, but she's not going to play. So I know you're going to do everything. Oh, W.S. Groovy, Laura, and I will each do a team. So email me and let me know. I need your email address. If you have two people, I don't know why this keeps shutting down. First time ever really using the light. I don't know. Come on. There we go. If you have a couple and you both want a team, I need two email addresses. And so send me your email addresses and I will get you signed up. And don't worry about getting too many people. If you're a part of a couple, like I think WCRB Adventure, I think they sent me an email, and they said, Carrie, all right, Carrie is darn well dangerous. All right, but Carrie, you kicked everybody's butt last year, and I told everybody watch out for you. And she is on the wait list. She basically just said, if you need to fill a spot, which sometimes I do, it'll only be one, because I have to have an even number of teams. And if I've got 9 teams and I need 10, then Miss Carrie is going to get the nod. She's the only one on the list at the moment. But if you want your own team, let me know. If you want on the on just the reserve, on the bench, so to speak, and you're happy to fill a spot if we need one more team on there, that will come in very valuable. So I appreciate that. And but Carrie, I read that email and I thought about it. And you play better than Wayne. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. How does one change their team name? So as you go on to the fantasy football, you'll click on my team, and then look for across the top of the window will be settings, and it's in there. So go to my team, go to settings, and it will bring it up. And at the very top is going to be your team name. You can name it whatever you like. I warned everybody though, if you have a risque name, I do report on your on how well you're doing each week, and you're gonna have to own it. It's Gary. If you pick a name that is a little bit risque, Gary, then you're going to have to own that. but no, I encourage you. The team names are fun. Come up with whatever you want. All the people we know don't cheat. No, they never cheat. Absolutely not. We had a great group of people last year. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely, don't get me wrong. Had an absolute blast. So, yeah, I only I only saw possibly once. I'm not naming names, but you can't. I mean, you're going to have great players, and it's like, oh, honey, you just take my good players. No, no. I couldn't even do that with Miss Karen. When we were together, I would say, oh, come on, give me so and so. You're not doing very good, and I need to. She wouldn't even do that for me. Why would you do that? So don't do that. No. If it is an official trade, it actually is voted on by the group, and there will be an email out there, and the default is yes. So if you don't vote, you'll see the names of who wants to trade and which players they want to trade, and it's really up to the team or all the league to decide whether that trade goes through or not. If you don't vote, it's an automatic yes. And I apologize, guys. I don't know if it's not the light. It is overload. I've got some sort of overload happening on the. This doesn't use that much power, I don't think. I'm watching the output power. Let's see if we can. Let's see what we got here. I got 125 watts going out between the laptop and the light, and it's saying overload. Maybe I don't think that would be too much, but you never know. It does. Yeah, Gary, you have to send it to. Don't put it here in the comments. Send it to my email. Right down there at the bottom, and I will get it. I think no links are allowed on the in the comment section, and they would consider an email address a link. So, my vote gets overrode. Well, it's up to everybody on the league to vote. It's up to. You have to watch it. No. You do not have to watch it. That's the other thing. That I'm glad. Ask your questions, absolutely, but no, you do not have to watch the games, and but you at any time after say Monday, because Monday night is the last game of the week. usually. Um, you can look how your team did, which players did well, which players didn't do well. And if you have a player that's not doing well, you can throw him on the bench, bring somebody back on. You can get rid of him and bring somebody else on that might get you more points. And you don't have to watch a game one. Guys, I don't think I watched 2 games last year. I have too many other things going on, so I don't really watch all the games. But it is fun going back and seeing how everybody is doing in the fantasy football league. See who's got the high points, who is really kicking butt, Miss Gary. And it was, it was a lot of fun. And I think I watched maybe 2 games. I really don't have to do that. So, but good question. Miss Laura and I are heading to Bend Sun River tomorrow. I am here, so definitely look me up. You can't miss Don's rig. You'll find Don's rig. He's right there by. There's only 2 dump stations, so you're going to be able to find him. He's got the dump station and the Starlink. If you're able to park next to him or close by that you can hook into his Starlink, something tells me he'll probably let you use his Starlink too. So you can thank me later, Don. I don't mind giving away your stuff. I think we only had 1 trade early on, and did it go through? I don't remember. It was so long ago. My memory is fuzzy, so I don't know if it went through. Sometimes they do go through, and sometimes the league shuts them down. So I'd be curious. Are you guys now? That's Donna Gale. Are you guys? I think you guys also opted. Gail got discouraged because she lost so many games and stop playing. And that's where you get in there and get rid of those players that aren't doing you any good, and you get in good players. So, and if you have questions, if you're on the league and you have questions about how to dump a player, pick up somebody new, who you should pick, any like there we go. I think we're fighting internet tonight, guys. I think we're fighting internet, so I apologize. Richard Make has an interesting question. Going to the inverter, how many volts is the inverter showing under load? I bought a Harbor Freight 750 watt inverter, and it would under overload at 12.5 draw. I'm actually not on an inverter. I've got an EcoFlow power station, and that is what has provided the power for I don't know, at least half a dozen lives since I got it. It's one thing that I never knew I needed, and really loving this thing. And I've had it at every live since. So it's not that, but a 750 watt inverter, I don't know. With a 12.5 inch amp draw. If you guys can answer out there, I will say that I have noticed with the lithiums, I was always told that the lithiums don't go down in voltage. And I can say they don't go down in voltage much under load, but they will, especially when you start getting to 50% or more. You put a microwave and a stovetop on that, and it will bring it down, and it will light up my generator, the automatic generator start, which I was actually relieved on. and glad to know that will still work even with the lithium batteries. The lithium batteries, they tell you that it's flat, and all the way at the end of at the end of the amps that it's got to offer, it drops off really quickly. And so I thought, well, that's not going to be real good for my auto gen start. Actually, it has come on when I've been at 25-30%, sometimes a little bit more depending on how much. And I have mine set. The highest I can is 12.2 volts. It comes on when the voltage drops down to that. It's just under a hard load. So yeah, the Richard M says that lithiums do have a low internal resistance, but it isn't zero. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. You have to take educated guesses a week or to 2 weeks in advance to do well in fantasy football. That's what makes it kind of interesting. So we are doing something a little bit different this year. If you are a hardcore fantasy football person and you want to, September 3rd is our draft, and that is where you get to pick all the players you need for your team. And you can do it manually. If it is going to be a live event, if you're not there, it will automatically pick somebody for you, and it usually picks the top person that's available according to all the statistics. It will pick the top person that's available for you. I can tell you that the last couple of years, I've just let the computer pick it. But if you want to be there, if you want to, we are the September 3rd will be the draft where you get to pick all your players. And if you think you can do better than the computer, I invite you to come along and pick your players. Absolutely pick your players. So you need, okay. So I need 4 more. So you're talking about 8. That way. I'm having a hard time comprehending. I have 4,000. I have 4. And Gary, are you saying 8? Because I'm having trouble making sure my solar charges the 4 that I've got. I can't even I'm sure it could probably, if I added more watts up on the roof, I might be able to get some more recharged. But yeah, the 4 that I've got, I have found it depending on how much I've got almost anywhere between 8 and 16 amps going out all day long between the stuff that I have running on the coach and the what do I want to say? Well, just running on the coach. I lost my train of thought there. But if I have 50 amps coming in, that means that there's only about 36 amps going into the batteries. You can multiply that by the hours, depending on if I had 30 amps coming in times 5 hours of sunlight. I'm still only bringing in about 150 amps to those batteries. And therein lies the difficulty that I had. The newest one that I have seen is I have 600 between the lead acid and the lithiums. There's about 600 amps to replace there. And the only way that I'm going to get those recharged is in a couple days if I don't use as much power. So I have noticed that, but I have been using more power on purpose. So yeah, you get very little with voltage drop with 800 amps. Yeah, that's absolutely. I would see that. Like I said, for me, it's about 50%. When my batteries get down to 50%, now I start seeing the voltage drop down, and that's I've had the automatic generator start surprise me a couple mornings when I got up and was making breakfast and using electricity to do it. And it's not endless. I will say that 400 amps isn't endless. If I'm cooking with electric, using the microwave, doing the electric cooktop, yeah, I'm gonna use up some amps. And now I'm trying to figure out what is the happy medium between using the amps and using the solar to recharge those amps. So with 16 amps always going, like I said, 8 to 16 amps always going out at any one time during the day. Yeah, it's going to take me a little while. Oh, see, you and Gary could talk well. So 120 volts, 1240 amp loads, 1500 watts, well past the 750. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. 750 watts isn't a very big inverter. So yeah, you're a lot of inverters will have a surge that will allow higher wattage going out, but like a microwave that's going to consistently use it for a long period of time, it's going to shut that down because 750 watts just isn't going to be enough to run that. So 750 watts, yeah, that's that isn't a lot of appliances. So just a curiosity there, what you are running with it. You probably said it and I just haven't seen it there. Oh yeah, that's not bad. So far, ever since I left the coast, and I showed a picture or a video of that at the start of the show. Driving out of the coast, it's just beautiful country. God, I just tell you what, you can't beat it. But everywhere that I have stopped has, with the exception of the snow park, and that's where I tried to catch up on my amperage. It's been treed, like you see behind me, and not a lot of solar coming in. So, um, ooh, yeah. I don't know about everybody else. I shut down everything at night. I shut down my inverter at night, which includes the fridge. What does everybody else out there think of that? I have done that ever since I've had the residential fridge. I've had no problems with doing that. But yeah, that is a power draw that if I had enough batteries, I'd probably leave it on through the night. But I'm not up. Nobody else is up, and the fridge stays cold. I've never once had a problem with the fridge warming up too much. So I do shut down my inverter at night, and my back TV back in the back bedroom. If I want to watch TV, that is a 12 volt that runs off of the lead acid batteries up front. And that I don't have any problem if I want to lay in bed and watch TV and still shut down all the systems in the coach. So um, yeah, I do, Don. Don says, Dave, you no longer have to do that. I'm telling you, I do. Because I've been playing with it a little bit, and I am using right around 25 to 50 amps per night if I don't cook. If I cook, it's going to be even more than that. And I want to make sure that I can still run my coffee maker in the morning when I get up. So I have this guy has his priorities. I'm just saying. Life with Lenny is in the house. Hello from Canada. Glad to have you here. So Miss Laura WG Arts is in the house. Just finished up dinner. Glad to have you here. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I have been using up around 50 to 100 amps per day. I think every day I look and the Victron tells me what I use for the day, and I think every day I'm using somewhere between 200 and 250 amps, and that includes whatever's coming down from solar and during the day, yeah, or maybe not. I've had a couple of cloudy days, so but let's see here. Yeah, Gary, that is 8 batteries right there. We can travel at least 4 hours with our front rooftop AC running on batteries. That works for how we travel. We used to have to run the generator. True story. Absolutely. True story. If you can get away with it, absolutely. Absolutely. I know some can. If you have enough power, you can. Gary, I don't remember how many watts you have. Just to let everybody know, what kind of solar do you have up on the roof? I'm just out of curiosity. I know it's quite a bit, but yes, I do have. I have 400 amps on the lithiums, and I have 195 amps on the lead acid side. So the lead acid side is running all the 12-volt systems in the coach, which includes starting the coach, the stereo, the lighting, all the 12-volt lighting, which is all LED, so that isn't really using much. But it also will run the TV in back and the stereo, the Wi-Fi booster, the cell booster. So all of those run on the 12 volt that is coming off of the lead acid side. Yeah, depending on what state your batteries are at, that's going to drag 450 watts on a 750 watt inverter is probably going to drag you down a little bit. So it really depends on what state of charge your batteries are at. But I wouldn't be surprised to see it go down to 11.5, 11.7 on at any one point on doing that much, depending on how many batteries you got. Depending on what kind of amperage that you've got to work with as well. It does. Don says his dash AC, he just runs that and it does a good job. Mine does too, but if you're in really hot areas, I know exactly what Gary is saying. I have run the generator running down the road just to run the 2 ACs to keep the coach cool, especially if you're in 100-degree plus weather. Yeah, that is not you're going to need something to keep that coach cool driving down the road. The dash air will cool you and the front pilot co-pilot seats, but not really back into the coach. So that's, I don't know how many of you have driven long distance. You're feeling pretty good, but you get up to walk back and you walk 5 feet back into the back of the coach and it's sweltering. So got to remember your puppies are back there too. So that dash air will keep that front side cool. But yeah, oh yeah, it's been in 105-degree weather. Yeah, yeah. I think yours might do a little bit better. There we go. Oh yeah. Well, okay, so let's unpack that a little bit. How much is too small, depending on what kind of boondocking you're using? We can always use more solar, but if you're not a big boondocker and you're just running from one resort to another, then you probably have no need for more solar. And 850 watts will do a nice job of taking care of the batteries while you're traveling. So I always say to people, they say, should I get solar? Should I do? I said, what kind of traveling do you plan on doing? And if it's not a lot of boondocking, then I would not make a huge investment in a lot of solar and in a lot of lithium for something that you're really not going to do a lot of. Uh, it driving down the road, like Gary says, running the engine and pulling off the batteries to run your AC. That's a nice option if you've got it. And if that's working for you, I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing. So I don't think 850 watts is no slouch either. So life with Lenny. I ran one AC for 8 hours getting up here, and solar and the batteries got to 30%. How many amp hours do you have in that? That's not bad. I've heard of people running their AC on their batteries for a few hours. I haven't heard of people running for 8 hours. So you're doing really good, really good. Again, my goal is to try to get off of the generator habit, and which I'm doing that nicely. But guys, I have 6,000 hours on my generator. I really need to get off of that generator. I love boondocking, so it makes nothing but sense to add whatever I need on the roof and whatever I need for battery power. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's studied that. It depends on the fridge that you've got. My residential fridge does not use that much. I want to guess somewhere between 8 and 12 amps is what it's using on a general basis. There is a heater that is the defrost cycle for the freezer, and I do know that it will jump up and use more amps for that small period of time, and I think it's only about 10 to 15 minutes. And that I have thought, but I think that is a 700 amp heater, or excuse me, a 700 watt heater that's in the back of the freezer. So yes. Well, sort of, Don. Sort of. So the DC to DC does protect my alternator. It will allow up to 50 amps to come from my alternator to feed the lithiums, and 50 amps, as you know, if you're running something like an AC, that's not going to be. It will protect your alternator from overworking, but you're going to be pulling off of those lithiums pretty hard. At least with that high of a load. Those kilowatts are not that expensive. That may be something to look at. That I absolutely agree. I don't know if anybody's done that. Yeah, you get to know how much the fridge uses. Absolutely. No, Bob, no, I can't do that. No. How often do I service my generator? Just check my generator, 489 hours. Guys, I have to admit I'm kind of bad. And I generally change it once a year, and I have been doing about 1,000 hours, 1,000 to 1,200 hours per year. So I think that the recommended on it is 500 hours. You're supposed to change the oil and filter. So don't do as I do. Do as I say. Change it every 500 hours. I think that is safe, all considering. But I all right. I have to share another. We're getting up here to the top of the hour. I have to share another video with you. Something that not many people know about me. All right. Here it comes. All right. Oh, you caught me. Okay. I got to admit it. Every now and then, not all the time, guys. I'm kind of a sucker for gas station food. I just happen to be in there, and one thing I can't pass up is the little taquitos or whatever these little roll-up things are. They're nasty. I know it. But they had a good deal on it. And I need a snack for going down the road. Stop watching me. Okay, that's a live exclusive. Yes, to gas station food. I figured there's got to be some of you out there. Somebody has to be buying this food. You know, it rolls on the little roller, and you're standing in line to pay for your fuel. And I know it's bad. I don't know why I do it. But yeah, I'm a sucker for every now and then gas station food. There was even, guys, I want to tell you, 7-Eleven has gas stations at 7-Eleven also sells pizza, not just slices. They sell whole pizzas. All right. They're nasty. They're bad. I don't know why. I can't resist the damn things. So there you go. That is not making it onto a video. That is a live exclusive, and you'll never see it. I will not admit it, no matter how much you try to get me to admit it. I guess you're right. Yeah, there's nothing better than gas station hot dog. Don't tell me what's in it. I had a butcher in the family. He would not eat hot dogs, and he said, "Do you want to know what's in them?" I said, "No, don't tell me what's in it." Yeah, you know, hot dog rolling on the little rack of the grease just glistening around it as it just sits there and rolls over and over again. And you're standing in line, and I don't know why. I'd look at that and go, I want one of those. Jennifer LaFord. Yuck, yuck. There we go. The instructor will buy that food. Do they? Somebody has to buy it. It just said, what is it? Oh, I missed it. There. No, don't judge me. Where is it? No, there it is. There it is. Oh, there you go. Little known fact about me every now and then. Yeah. I'm not going to create a cooking video on gas station food. Oh. Oh, I love the chili and cheese. Are you kidding me? Yes, absolutely. Oh, Buc-ee's. Okay, can we talk for just a minute? Buc-ee's, that isn't gas station food. Buc-ee's is awesome. If you get a chance, stop at Buc-ee's, and I can personally recommend the pulled pork sandwich. Anything on there. Every time I've stopped at a Buc-ee's, it's fantastic. Absolutely. Yeah, we try not to think about these things. I don't want to think about it. Oh my gosh, there you go, right? Used to work at a coffee truck for 40 years. All the food was, I think even a coffee truck is better than gas station food. Just saying. The brisket sandwich, absolutely. You know, I must be getting hungry because I'm gonna pour myself another adult beverage here. Yeah, you start talking about food, and man, I'm starting to get hungry. Oh, just had pulled pork from Buc-ee's last week. Am I right? Those things are awesome. I refuse to count Buc-ee's as gas station food. There you go. I don't have a Buc-ee's cup. I need one. I absolutely need one. I'll tell you who does one better though. Don. I went over and hung out with Don yesterday. He's got Bucky's chairs, T-shirt. Don is in. Don is so in. I want to know how many miles there. Oh, they were out of. No. They were out of brisket. That's not even right. That's not even right. If you ever get a chance, I promise you, you won't be disappointed to go into a Bucky's. I don't pass them up unless I've just, been in one. Otherwise, I stop in there to those whenever I go by. There's not a lot of them, guys, but man, they are good. They are good. If you're traveling, especially west to east or east to west, you will see the Bucky's out there, and you definitely want to stop. So, all right, guys, I think I'm going to call it a little bit early tonight. I think we covered everything. Again, NFL fantasy football. If you're even curious, just send me right down there at the bottom of the screen is my email. Let me know. Put fantasy football in the subject line, and we will get you signed up. If we can get enough people signed up, we could do leagues or divisions, excuse me, and we can have a couple of divisions. And I don't know how that works, but that would be a lot of fun to do. So maybe someday. But oh, thank you very much. Would you just thank Mr. Bob so much for showing me that light? We used that light back in Florence, and boy, I saw that and I thought, okay, I gotta get one of those. So I knew it would work well. I really love it. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, only the people that don't work. Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. They're the only ones that worry about how long they've been there. I'm going to give HC Carefree Highway the last word of the night. You guys, I always have fun hanging out with you guys. I look forward to Sundays. I look forward to seeing you guys again next week. You guys have a good week. We will see you all next week, same time, and we'll see what we got. I think I'm going to be. Oh, next week is open mic night. So we got an open mic night. One of my favorite nights of the week, of the month. Excuse me. The last Sunday live of every month is open mic night. Definitely look forward to having you guys on. So it gives us a chance for everybody to join in and be part of the show. So again, one of my favorite nights. So until next week, until that time, we will see you guys later. Live life full time. Take care, guys. Have a good night. And let's see. All this talk about food. I'm hungry.